Welcome to part 2. In this tutorial we will see how the data is processed so that we can calculate both the Shannon-Weiner diversity index and evenness. So the first order of business, before we even look at the formulas for the Shannon-Weiner index and for evenness, let's just set up our spreadsheet and sort everything properly and get that going first. So as always, we will sort these data, and these are hypothetical data. And I have random values here between 1 and 12 for wetland, meadow, and edge. So of course the example that you see here and the numbers that will be generated from it are going to be radically different than your actual data, of course. This is just for illustrative purposes. But the mechanics that I'm about to show you and all of the formulas that are used, all of that is identical and applicable. So again, you highlight and drag everything, including the column headers, all the way down to the end of your data, and you are going to custom sort. So you right-click, sort, and custom sort, and we want to custom sort according to the OTU column. So this way the entire row gets sorted, so not just the column itself. Sort A to Z alphabetically is fine, and there you have it. So your OTUs are now all alphabetical. The next thing I would like to do is insert some rows, because I would like to have totals of wetland, meadow, and edge for my arachnids, for my beetles, for my ants and wasps, and so on. So to insert rows, you go over to the gray areas here, and if you right-click, say I want to insert a row right underneath my arachnid data, I would go to the row beneath it here, right-click, and insert, and notice how a row is input right above what you've selected. Right? So now I just want sums of these columns here. So, use our sum function, total that up, and since this is a relative cell reference that references the same number of cells above it, I can simply copy this formula and paste it for expediency. And we can make these a different color just to differentiate our cells here. So you want to do the same procedure for each one of your OTUs. You want to add a row. So underneath my Coleoptera, I would like a row. So I would go to the row beneath it, right-click, insert, brand new row. I want to sum all of these values in these columns here for wetland, meadow, and edge, just for my beetles. So equals sum. Select all my beetles in wetland. And again, since this is a relative cell reference, I can copy and paste these values right here. So as you can see, you can really assemble and sort this very quickly. You want to do the same exact thing for all of your OTUs. You want totals for wetland, meadow, and edge. And when you're done, this is what it's going to look like. So here we have all of our totals in yellow. Off to the side on the same sheet, construct a nice compressed, say a final summation of all of your OTUs. So the way to do that is you just start a brand new sheet, not a brand new sheet, but a brand new little table off to the side within the same sheet, and you can actually copy these headers. So if you do copy and paste, so you can actually just copy those headers right in there and make it easy. So we're going to have different entries for each OTU, and for this example we only have 5 OTUs. Of course you're going to have much more in your actual data. So for my arachnids, to make it quick, instead of just actually typing it in, to automate this process, I could just copy and paste it, paste the name arachnid in there if I wanted to, right? So, and then to paste the values, the total values, you want those yellow values there. I'm just going to highlight all of my arachnid totals for wetland, meadow, and edge. Copy. All I got to do is really highlight this first cell because it'll just copy right across the row. But let's do something special here. I want to paste only the values, because remember, in those yellow cells there are formulas, and I don't really need those formulas anymore. They've already done their job. I just want the numbers. So you're going to want to select paste options, this 1, 2, 3 option, which just pastes values. Same thing with Coleoptera. Copy that name, paste it, right? Of course, it's already been done. I'm just showing you how to do it, right? And again, you take all of the coleopter values in yellow, copy, highlight that first cell, right click, paste options, just the values. It'll paste it right across for you. And then you want to go all the way down for all of your OTUs so you get a nice clean table. And you can also generate some new totals there if you wanted to, which is actually what you want to do. So you want to sum the total in this column here for wetland, meadow, and edge. Now from here, you can create a brand new sheet by clicking down here, Insert New Worksheet, and you can actually copy these data, copy the whole table into a brand new sheet, just so that you have room to work. Let's actually zoom this up a little bit more so we can all get a better view here. So there you go. You can widen your columns as needed. So from here we can actually do the similarity indices between the pairwise comparisons. So the first pairwise comparison will be between wetland and meadow, meadow and edge, and then finally wetland and edge. So this way you get your proportional similarity numbers from that, and refer to the very first video tutorial on how to do that. So in this clean page you could do all of your similarity indices. But on another sheet we could start to do our calculations for Shannon-Weiner and also for evenness. So say we wanted to do a brand new sheet, and we can actually copy the same set of nice clean data. Let's zoom it up. So let's actually take a look at the formulas now, because now we're ready to start adding columns and whatnot to make the calculations for the Shannon-Weiner index. So let's take a peek at the formulas here. Okay, so for the Shannon-Weiner diversity index, this is in your handout. It is the negative sum of this set of terms here, where P1 is the proportion or a frequency of species I multiplied by the natural log of that proportion. And then you just take the negative of it. So this way it returns a positive value. The Shannon-Weiner index is always a positive value, so that negative actually gets multiplied by another negative, which will be generated here by this calculation. So this way you end up with just an absolute value or a positive value. Another nice thing to calculate separately, which you do see in the literature occasionally, is a value known as equitability or evenness, this E sub h. This will give you a value between 0 and 1 and will show how evenly distributed species are within a given community. So it is simply the calculated Shannon-Weiner index value divided by the natural log of how many species are in that community, the total number. So we'll see how to do both of these in Excel. So say we wanted to go back to our sheet that we copied and pasted. Okay. So we are going to need the proportion. These are not proportions yet. These are just actual numbers. We were going to need the proportion or the frequency of all of these values here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a column. So what you do is you right click up here in the gray and you insert. Notice it inserts to the left of where you've highlighted. So I want a column here for wetland. I want an extra column for meadow as well, so I'm going to right click and highlight here. So let's insert an extra column here. And we already have an extra column for edge, so that's really not necessary. So why don't I just go ahead and get rid of all these colors here. So no fill. Okay. So here, let's call this column header wetland P, or proportion, right? You could widen your columns as needed. Here's going to be my proportion for meadow, so we'll just call that meadow P. Widen that up a bit just so we can see everything. And here is just going to be edge P, or proportions. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, it is the number of arachnids over the total number found